Man, we let the first one get away from us. It's kind of interesting how this ballpark is configured. You get the opportunity to sit right behind the umpire. And that first game, when we went through those arms, the common denominator with all those arms, they just kept missing big with arm side. And your delivery's not where it needs to be when you're missing big arm side. And that's why we kept going to the next guy to see if he could throw the ball to his glove hand side and challenge the strike zone. And we just kept walking people. You walk 9, not on purpose, and then you intentionally walk 1, so you got 10 in the ball game. You're lucky a team just scores, as few as they did when you walk 10. I think the other thing about that ball game is we didn't have Reed available for us, and he's a guy who had been really good for us in those spots. He was a little bit sore this weekend, even though he had some great ABs, and we checked in with him late just to see if he felt like he could give us 2 or 3 outs, and he just couldn't do it this weekend. So I think the time off during finals, letting his arm come back is really going to help our ball club. But the game there and the first game is something that's going to haunt us because we really felt like we had a chance to sweep a pretty good Alabama club here in Tuscaloosa.
Every time y'all seem to kind of face that adversity, you have a game like you did today, it seems like it doesn't really faze the players. I mean, you come out and you have a freshman really pitch well for you and you get some big hits early. What's that mindset for those guys to kind of put that in the rearview mirror and bounce back?
Well, I think we have some really competitive kids, and Pilkington's one of those guys, man. He wants the baseball. Sexton's a really competitive young man. We take Sexton in the 4th inning, and everybody says it's the 4th inning. Well, no, it's not. It's really the 7th inning because it's a 7-inning ball game. We felt like we had a matchup. We had Haney up there, and on the Sky Report it said, hey, he needs to see spin. So we thought Billings, he's one of our best spin guys since we don't have Humphreys available. And we felt like the spin would really get him. We leave a breaking ball up, and he hits it. So, in retrospect, do we take Sexton out there? Do we let him go with runner in scoring position and the Haney kid up? Who knows? But we really feel like spin was the way to go right there. The one thing about taking Sexton out is, maybe he gives you that 1 extra inning or 2 extra innings to where we don't have to go, 7, 8 guys into our bullpen. So, I thought that was a big factor in that game, and I thought, the fact that we didn't have a Reed Humphreys this weekend on the mound, it was a little bit different for us as well. But, Daniel Brown came in and pitched just super for us. We have a lot of kids who are just gutting things out right now. I mean, we have a second baseman, Alexander, who has a cracked wrist. He has a broken wrist, and he goes down to catch that ball, and I guarantee you, he was in so much pain, it was unbelievable. And that's the reason why we took him out in that inning. It wasn't because he dropped the ball. It's because I think he's in pain, and I've seen the x-rays, and he's playing hurt. And now with Stovall going down, and, we've had some hamate issues. Third base with Collins, who's learning a new position. John Holland's coming off of 2 injuries. So we're a little battle weary right now, and our kids need to get some good rest and get ready for a very, very good Missouri club that I just understand won 2 games against Tennessee.
Connor said he feels like he's getting more comfortable with each start. Have you seen that from him last couple starts?
Yeah. He's just got great spin. The velo isn't always there. He's not always 90-92, but he's got such great spin. It just gets on people. It gets on them. And what has happened is the changeup and the breaking ball has really come a long way.
Is there any progress on Stovall yet? Do you know anything?
Yeah, I just can't see it not being 4 to 6 weeks. The good news is the ligament's intact. This is what I'm being told, and that he's going to have a full recovery and everything's going to be great. But the fact that thing popped out a little bit, it's going to take him a while to get the swelling down, and for him to get everything back to where it needs to be. We're probably looking at 4 to 6 weeks, which really hurts our ball club. But we got to have some other guys step up and help our club.
How good was it to get Robson back in the lineup today?
It was really good. You could tell he hadn't played in a while. You could tell that his timing at the plate was a little bit off. But man, just seeing him run after balls in the outfield along with Mangum. Those are two guys who can really go get the baseball, and you can just see it with Robbie. It's going to come. He's a little early, then he's a little late, a little early, a little late. It's going to come. There's no question. He's just too good a player. And again, he's playing a little bit of pain too. He's one of my, 4 guys who got a broken bone in their hand somewhere, or wrist. So he's battling through that also. But I think he's really close. It might be a 1 step forward, 1 step back with him. We'll have to wait and see tomorrow how he feels after playing, a doubleheader today.
Was it just about knocking the rust off with Robson today?
Yeah, I think so. Just the timing, and he did everything right. He was always in the bullpen, timing up our own pitchers, and doing everything to prepare. But once you get back into the game, it takes you a while to get your timing back.
So it's a good week to have a few days off.
Oh, there's no question.
Meet your guys.
Yeah, David, there's no question about that. I feel like this couldn't come at a better time because everything was condensed this week with the Tuesday game at Pearl and then the Thursday, Friday, Saturday format. So our kids really gutted through that, but they need some rest. We still need to work on some things for sure, but they need some rest because they've been through a bunch.
Especially with the league how it is now, where everybody seems to be strong throughout. How big is it for this team? What does it say about them to win the road games that they've had to win the road series?
You know what? We've been very successful on the road, and I credit our kids and their toughness. They've done a great job. But, man, the greed in me says we let one slip through our fingers today. I mean, we could have swept a pretty good Alabama club at home. Well, on the road at Alabama's home, and we just let it slip through their fingers. So that's going to burn us for a while. But yeah, to win the series and to come back after that ball game and to play a pretty clean ball game defensively, not as offensive as we wanted to be, but that's kind of the nature of the second game, the doubleheader.